Welcome back, everybody, to Let's Talk About Sleep. It's that time of the month where we answer any and all questions, as you guys posted on my YouTube channel. So thank you for all the comments and suggestions and all that. I greatly appreciate it. It helps me to do what I do here. So, just as I always say, my first book, Let's Talk About Sleep, which is what this channel is based on, you can get that on Amazon. The new one has also just come out, The Story of Sleep from A to ZZZ. Get your hands on that from Amazon. Once we get to 2,000 subscribers, somebody will get a signed copy of this one, but you got to be in it to win it, so make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this video with your friends and family. And as I always say, these videos are for education only. That being said, let's get right into this. So, there's probably I'll probably do 2 or maybe 3 videos because there's quite a few questions. So without further ado, let's get into it. So there's actually a lot of questions or comments on my cataphrenia video, which I was surprised about. I guess more people have it than we realize. Just to reiterate what that is, it's kind of like a groaning sound that people make throughout the night, which is not sleep apnea, but it can sound similar to something going on. So let's see. So Mac writes, I also have this problem. Luckily, I am not alone and it's not life-threatening. Yep, that's correct. Angelique writes, LOL, I have this issue. Never had a name for it, but my husband has to shake me and make me stop. I've done it all my life. I've heard myself do it a few times. It's not a snore. It's more of a groaning. Exactly. It's funny and sad at the same time. My brother made fun of me, so I realize it's just a vocalization. Sometimes it's worse than others. Either it's when I'm not feeling good or when I have a bad dream. Hard to tell exactly. Yeah, I would say, there are ways to treat this. Some people have used a CPAP machine. Now, I don't know how disruptive it is to you or your bed partner or your family, but, and again, I don't know if insurance would cover it, but in theory, though, having a CPAP machine, that pressurized air, could in theory make the sound improve. Okay, but it's very little data for that. Kayla writes, I wish there was more research and information on this. Just like I said, it's kind of a niche topic. I feel like cataphrenia negatively impacts my quality of sleep, but I can't really find information on how to treat the issue. Yeah, just like with Angelique, CPAP could be helpful. But with both you guys, I really would make sure that you don't have sleep apnea. A sleep test would help to determine that. I think that would be the first step to make sure this is not sleep apnea, because cataphrenia is more of a diagnosis of exclusion, right? You hear somebody making these sounds, my first thought is, could this be sleep apnea? In which case it needs to be treated, whereas cataphrenia would be the rule out situation. Laura writes, I am here because my partner recorded me and says I do this almost nightly. Sometimes I'm vaguely aware of it. Moaning, facepalm, I'm kind of creating my own white noise. That's interesting. Okay. Well, as long as it doesn't bother you, if it bothers your bed partner, you may want to, like I said, get tested. Kavia writes, I woke myself from a nap today groaning like, who is it? But I live alone. Now I realize this condition has a name. Yep. And Mark writes, I'm from the Netherlands. I have cataphrenia. Do I need to be seeking help? Again, it's hard to say definitively without, kind of knowing the situation. But what I would tell you is if there's noise in sleep, you definitely want to make sure it's not sleep apnea, okay, before you say it is this or it isn't that, right? Because cataphrenia can occur alone, of course, but in a case where somebody is doing or making noises, you want to make sure it's not sleep apnea. So, and then Jody writes, so then someone doing this at night means they're not breathing. How can one live? Not necessarily. Cataphrenia is not implying that you're not breathing. There may be a vibration or a shaking of your tissue, but it doesn't mean you're not breathing. Same thing with sleep apnea. Even sleep apnea is a stoppage of breathing, but it doesn't mean you die. Your brain recognizes that you're not breathing, and it causes you to either wake up or go to lighter sleep, and the breathing continues. So it's not. You should watch my video on sleep apnea. All right, there was a lot on cataphrenia there. I think I'll end there, and we'll do another one after this. All right, thank you for everybody for checking this out and for asking questions. Part 2 will be coming up next week. Until next time, sleep well.